When my husband died of leukemia at the age of 57, I was angry with God for taking him away from me. My faith was badly shaken at that time. I asked God why he had taken my husband so young. Little did I know that God had some new plans for my future. Talk about a leap of faith, as here I am, 26 years later, worshiping at Holy Communion Church with the most diverse group of believers. As a result, my faith has grown exponentially, and I continually thank God for how he has encouraged me to keep growing. In today's Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, verse 21 to 43, we hear about the synagogue leader named Jairus, who has a daughter who lies dying at home in her bed. He searches for Jesus as his faith is so strong that he believes that Jesus can cure his daughter. Upon finding Jesus, Jairus begs him to come to his home and cure his daughter. Jesus goes to Jairus' home, where the daughter appears to be dead. Jesus goes to the daughter and tells her to rise out of her bed and tells her mother to get her something to eat, as she is probably hungry. I can just picture the look on the faces of the parents as they behold their daughter alive and well and hungry. Jairus' faith has truly saved his daughter. We also hear about the woman who has been hemorrhaging for 12 years. She is considered unclean and an outcast among her people. She must be ever so careful not to touch anyone, and most are really repelled by her. However, she has such great faith in Jesus that she believes that if she but touches his garment, she can be cleansed and made whole. She finds the crowd that is following Jesus and stays behind them until she has an opportunity to get closer to him. All the people following Jesus stay far away from her, lest she touch them. She pushes her way closer and touches the hem of Jesus' robe and is made whole once more. Can you even fathom her faith? Jesus feels some of his power pass to someone and questions the apostles as to who has touched him. They think he is being foolish, as there are so many people surrounding him. The woman comes forth, kneels at Jesus' feet, and confesses that it was she who touched his robe. Jesus raises her up and calls her daughter, for he knows how great is her faith in him. In today's gospel, we see the depth of faith that two people have in the healing power of Jesus. Whenever I am worried or face a problem, I turn to Jesus and pray for his healing touch. Sometimes it's a very simple matter, and other times it's much more worrisome. Jesus never said we should only bring our major problems to him. He wants to help us with the simplest of our needs. How often do you reach out to Jesus for help? My oldest son was recently diagnosed with bladder cancer and is undergoing chemotherapy. As soon as I learned of his diagnosis, I turned to Jesus and placed my son in his care. I asked him to guide the doctors to find the best way to cure Chris's cancer and to give my son the strength to handle all the possible side effects that might occur. In my professional life, I was an oncology nurse, so I knew what Chris might expect as he underwent his chemotherapy. I truly believe that Jesus is with Chris as he goes through all his treatments. There were times when the apostles' faith was shaken, even though they were so close to Jesus. One instance was when they were in their boat on the Sea of Galilee, and Jesus was asleep. In Matthew, verse 8, chapter 8, read, "The disciples went and woke him, saying, 'Lord, save us, we are perishing.' And Jesus replied, 'You of little faith, why are you so afraid?' Then he got up, rebuked the wind and the seas, and it was perfectly calm." What is faith? It's a strong belief in God, a complete trust in him. How do you exhibit your faith? Jesus has told us that faith without works is useless. Each of us needs to find a way to allow our faith to shine forth in our daily life. For the last 25 years, I have been involved with a food distribution program called Care and Share. Once a month, we provide food boxes to the less fortunate in Sun River and Lapine. There have been times throughout the years when we became concerned as to where the money would come from so that we could continue to purchase food. Each time this problem loomed on the horizon, I prayed that God would show us the way to find the money we so badly needed. We all know how the cost of food has risen, and that has made it more difficult for us to purchase nutritional food each month. Throughout the years, we have been blessed with grants from local organizations and residents. We recently experienced this phenomenon when First Interstate Bank chose Care and Share to receive one of their very generous donations. We were selected by some of their employees who actually volunteer at Care and Share each month. I was speechless as I was presented with this money. I truly believe that the Lord is constantly watching over our organization and the good work that we accomplish each month. Jesus has told us, "Feed my lambs," and that is what we do each month. May your faith always guide you to share all that you need with Jesus, and never forget that his arms are open wide and waiting for you. You just need to believe that he loves you and will always care for you.